because you guys are so healthy. And
we like hearing about them, though.
yeah, it'll be educational for you. Hi, Joe. It's the Cartman drama triangle. On each point is a role that people play, and we keep each other in those roles, and each role needs the other roles to keep the triangle going. I like to call it the triangle of pain, you know, because, you know, everybody has some pain, and then they deal with it another way. And the neat thing is that each individual doesn't have to stick in one role. You can play as many as you want. You can switch around. You can be the victim. You can be the perpetrator. You can be the savior. It doesn't matter. You know, because life is full of options. Because life is, look, we're switching right now. We're switching right now. You know, because that's how, you know, it can happen. And I also figured out that Cersei Lannister of Game of Thrones, she is really an example for each of these roles, right? Victim, she felt victimized in her childhood, you know, being a woman in that situation. And then later, perpetrator, she's just perpetrating all over the place, you know, like, you know, come here, give me someone to be my victim, I'll just perpetrate you. And then in the last episode, right, when she's like walking, she was like the martyr.
Don't tell me.
Sorry. Well, okay, she's like, you know, a little bit like Jesus, sort of, you know, right? Sacrifice, martyr, like something. All right. What do you have to say? I agree with you.
He knows a lot. He knows a lot. He's seen a lot.
First, you pick the part. Nope, try it again. First, what happens?
Seems like that was right.
First, you choose the part you want to play, and then you pick the corresponding pain. And when you find someone who knows the game, you play. Pass the pain, pass the pain. Say you've had more than just a bad day. You were born and then nothing went your way. You need someone to listen to complaints to play. Pass the pain. Pass the pain. There, he is a knight in shining armor. He says there, he's a fixer and a charmer. Says he'll take all your troubles away, but you don't get any better, cause there's no one to save. He needs you to be hurting to take the hurt away. So don't you change a thing, or there's no one to play. Pass the pain. Pass the pain. Pass the pain, pass the pain. The knight, he has his own pain too. He just compensates for it different from you. His whole identity is in his bleeding heart. He never feels better than when you're falling apart. So then he gives and gives more than what he oughta, until eventually he's turned into a martyr. And now, who's the victim and who is to blame? Pass the pain, pass the pain, pass the pain, pass the pain. And then there's the one who had it rough as a kid. He got beat up no matter what he did. No duh, what he got growing up through the bleakness was never do you show any weakness. And now if you cross him, he'll make sure that you're sorry, because he never learned how to set any boundaries. The perpetrator's pain makes him give it to the victim, who can then complain that the perpetrator kicked him. The savior takes complaints like the martyrs and saints. Pass the pain, pass the pain, pass the pain, pass the pain. The perpetrator's pain makes him give it to another, who becomes a victim readily, because she has to suffer in order for the savior to have someone to save. Pass the pain, pass the pain, pass the pain, pass the pain. Who's a sadist needing a masochist to get her feeling like the greatest? A bikini wax is better. There are funner games to play than the passing of the pain, like poker or charades or renting out a bowling lane. Anything you can do to up the elation. You don't need games at all. I prefer conversation. The options we forget that everybody knows. The optimistic gist of what I'm saying goes: you can drop the pain-based relationships. You can, even if you can't freestyle like David Amran. You can drop the pain-based relationships. You can, even if you can't freestyle. Rock and roll. Emphasis on the free.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's into the drama
apparently.